going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right? So much success that you have more than one place to be.
5-3, touchdown, Oregon. Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at the University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Swing and a miss. Oregon is headed to the Super Regional.
Fans being out there making this a great impact.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
We've got updates on men's basketball. Women's basketball season starts on Friday and a 12:30 kickoff for the Ducks at Michigan. Coming up in Ann Arbor, televised on CBS, 10:30 pregame show for us across the Oregon Sports Network. Oregon football coaches show tonight. Dan Lanning will be with us here in the Country Financial Studio around 7 o'clock across the Oregon Sports Network and the Oregon football social media channels. Women's golf team came up just short in a dramatic match yesterday. We'll tell you a little bit more about that, some updates for you from their play, and a number of Oregon football student athletes talking with the media, getting ready for that big-time kickoff. On men's basketball, though, Naismith Trophy watch list coming out. Jackson Shelstad already a preseason all-conference guy, and he's on the Player of the Year watch list. Naismith Trophy released that Player of the Year watch list today. He and the Ducks, the season begins on Monday. Doubleheader at Matthew Knight Arena, Oregon women's basketball and then Oregon men's basketball, both in action on Monday to kick off the season. Less than a week away. Getting ready for basketball. After practice today, Coach Lanning met with the media every time we talk with him. It's brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Better cancer care close to home. Coach Lanning, right off the practice field today.
Yep, good day from our guys today. Good competitive practice. Finish it off with red zone there again like we normally do on Wednesdays. So positive. So we'll go from there.
How's Jeff been able to improve in pass coverage specifically?
Yeah, he's put a lot of time and effort into it, right? He's become much better at distinguishing what routes he's going to get based on splits, understanding the leverage he has in each coverage.
Jamari is someone whose stats don't really show what he does in the field. From when you got him out of the portal to now, what have you been most pleased with from his development?
Yeah, just his work ethic every day. And obviously he's a really hard guy to block, and it's created a lot of havoc for us up front, whether it's him actually getting the credit for that or him actually creating that. So he's created a lot of made it tough for the opponent.
I feel like you guys have stayed on schedule offensively on first and second down and not falling behind.
Say it again.
How do you feel like you guys have stayed on schedule on first and second down offensively?
Yeah, just successful plays, right? I think we've identified what creates a successful play and making sure that we're in position to execute it. I think Coach Stein's also called a really good game to put us in position to do that.
Is the plan right now for both Boyle and Sapping to continue to have roles in both kickoffs and?
Yeah, absolutely.
How's Jordan going about establishing himself the way he has been, where obviously Bucky was moving on, you knew to be leaning on him, but on pace certainly to be a 1,000-yard rusher and had 20-plus touches 3 straight games. Even Bucky didn't get to do that.
Yeah, just working. Yeah, he's just worked, and he's proven his effort and his value. It's shown up. When you're productive on the field, you're going to continue to get opportunities.
Do you know Wink Martindale at all prior to?
No, I know of him and followed him, but don't know him personally.
What does getting to defensively, when you get to play in a little bit of a smaller, more compact box, what is that?
What do you mean exactly?
Well,
field's the same size.
If an offense is challenged, let's say, to be able to stretch the field vertically, what does it allow a defense to do if you can play in a little bit more compact area?
Yeah, I think anytime that you're playing an offense that runs the ball well, you have to decide if you're going to steal a hat for the run, right? And that's something that is always a challenge.
Penalties were always important defensively on first down, but is this week even more important just because of
No, same importance. Win first down.
Penalties were a little bit of an issue earlier. They've gotten a lot better since then. What do you kind of attribute that to?
Just a level of focus from our players to realize that we can't hurt ourselves.
Mike Hill headed to a possible return?
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. We continue to assess where he's at and feel it out.
Is it an all-or-nothing proposition for a hardship waiver in his case now? If he returns, is that off the table? Or?
No, I mean, we'll have to evaluate it.
Dan Lanning after practice today. Ducks getting ready for that 12:30 kickoff. Also, we've got Derrick Harmon, Nashad Strother, Brandon Johnson, Noah Whittington, Tatum Tuioti, Jeff Bassa, Poncho Laulu, and Jordan James all met with the media this week. A number of Oregon football post-practice interviews. Let's go to the defensive line. Derrick Harmon, veteran along that defensive line. A guy who has experience playing at Michigan before. Played for the rival in Michigan State before transferring to Oregon. Derrick Harmon meeting with the media this week.
Don't like him. I'm going to leave it there. Don't like him.
What stands out about your previous trip to the Big House?
We lost it. Last time being there, I lost being there, but still don't like them guys. So just leave it there so far.
What is it like playing in front of 110,000 people?
Surprisingly, it's not that loud. And when I'm on the field, it's not loud for me. You know, they offense on the field, so to me, it's not loud.
When you're preparing just to face two very different style quarterbacks, how does that make it hard for you, and where do you feel like you guys are in the process right now, or feeling confident heading into whatever scenario they decide to throw at you?
Yeah, we watch a film on both of them guys. We got to watch film on them guys, make sure we dial up on everything they do well, both of them. So 10 in the game, we know he want to run the ball, and just got to keep make sure our personnel's on point that game.
Always talks about physicality. The more physical team wins football games. That's true in every game, but that feels maybe more important this week against this opponent. The way they walk away.
I don't think more important. I feel like every week is important. The inside guys have to do their job and be physical at the point of attack for us to win the game. And I feel like every week we're getting stronger than the inside. So,
what sort of a jolt would Jordan returning, whether this week or later on, give this defensive line? Like, what kind of an impact would that be for you guys?
You know what type of player he is. It's Jordan Birch. You know he's a great player, and once we get him back, we're going to be full tilt.
How does your leadership kind of grown this season, especially with Birch's absence on the field?
It's grown a little bit. I still let the old guys be the old guys. Technically, I'm an old guy, but we still got some 5th, 6th years in here, so just how I play my role to the best of my ability.
What do you see from Michigan's interior offensive line? What do you see from their interior offensive line? Just what do you think they do well?
Good group up there. We got to dominate them. Good group.
You've seen the running back Edwards before. Just what makes him? I realize that Mullings has rushed more than he has this year, but what about Edwards that stands out to you? What makes him effective?
Yeah, Edwards from where I'm from, he's a hard runner, been like that since high school. He's going to try to run that ball and try to get to the end zone. So we just got to stop him. If he's in the game, more Tooney's in the game. Just got to stop one of them.
I feel like you're the only team that's got 3 top 25 wins. I feel like that better prepares you for going on the road in November.
No, not really. I feel like any of these games is the same, man. Like I said, we try and go each game, prepare as best our ability, and just win that game 1 week at a time.
Derrick, where are some of the areas you think the defense still needs to improve on going into this final month of the season?
I think we just need to communicate a little bit better, get lined up quicker, get the call in, and just execute at a high level, and everybody be on the same page. Everybody on the same page, we're unstoppable.
Did you hear the whistle on that play where you threw him down? And what did you learn, I guess, from that whole thing?
It's a stupid play. Definitely on my part, being a 4th-year guy, that's just a stupid play.
How has Amari Washington just gotten better?
He's getting better every week, man. I've been said that since fall camp. He's going to be one of them day 1, day 2 guys once his time comes for sure.
Awesome stuff. Hearing a bit from Derrick Harmon, and that perspective of just the environment, and I'm interested to hear how loud it is at Michigan, just on a personal level, because Autzen Stadium we know is just ridiculous. The noise that gets generated from 60,000, off the charts. What's it going to sound like in a different architecture with that many people, historic venue? I don't know. But you know that Oregon's going to get everybody's best shot. Going to get everybody's best shot here moving forward. Oregon women's golf team came up just short. Dramatic match that saw 2 pairings go to extra holes on Tuesday. A 3-2 decision to LSU in the semifinals of the Eastlake Cup. It was a rematch of last year's NCAA championship quarterfinal. Number 13 Ducks got a couple points from folks that weren't big contributors, actually, last year, which tells you something about the roster construction that Derek Radley has put together. Oregon facing UCLA today in the consolation match. The Ducks fell just short against the Bruins in the national semifinals a year ago. So a lot of the top teams in these marquee fall tournaments, Oregon women's golf, one of those marquee teams that is a part of them. When we come back, more post-practice interviews from Oregon football. Alex Simpson's here. We're back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you. On the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
More Duck Insider from the Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
More Duck Insider here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield. We're in the Country Financial Studio. All right, I need to just get something out of the way here. Alex Stimson here in the studio. For Alex's mental state. Nope, I can't say it. I can't do it.
Come on.
I couldn't do it.
Come on, Joey.
I couldn't do
Come
it.
on.
Alex is here. Alex is a diehard Dodgers fan.
Die hard for those of you at home.
But you're really a Vin Scully fan.
Yeah, first true love. You know, that's what really got me into we were blessed growing up in the greater LA area. We had Bob Miller, we had Chick Hearn, we got Vin Scully. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Ryan Milano helping it out, putting the spotlight on
Thanks so
Alex.
much. But yes, that's what got me into it. I've rewatched the 19, especially with Fernando Valenzuela's passing. I've rewatched a lot of Vin Scully clips the last couple of weeks.
Better home run, Freddie Freeman's grand slam or Kirk Gibson?
It's got to be Kirk right now. We'll see how things happen over the next few days.
The point is that the World Series is going on, and Alex has a vested interest, and I just want Alex to be happy.
That's very big of you. Thank you. That's nice. Do you, though? Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
As a Giants fan, really?
I want you to be happy.
It's precise phrasing. I respect that. Thank you. Please clip this off. I need to save this. It's my new ringtone. Yeah, it's going to be nice. Yeah.
Nashad Strother, Oregon offensive lineman. Let's talk some keys to the game with Nashad Strother.
You guys' group up front has kind of grown now. You've been doing this for 6 games basically with the same unit. What's kind of that growth been like?
Yeah, I mean, just naturally, playing with the same group of guys, naturally it's going to get better, chemistry, you can do some things without talking, so it just gets better, as time goes on.
As an offensive lineman, just what are your thoughts of the matchup that you're going to face this week and the NFL guys they have across the board?
I think it's a great test for us, but I think we'll be a great test for them as well. So I think it'll be a good matchup, this type of game, that can rise and kill somebody's draft stock. So, we're going to prepare like we do every week. It's a great challenge for us, but I think we'll be ready for it.
Clearly recognize that opportunity then, Nashad.
Yeah, absolutely.
The biggest for you specifically.
Absolutely, for sure. We respect those guys over there and what they've done, but, just got to go out there and compete,
What do you see? I realize you mainly on the interior guys, but they'll throw Stewart around a bunch of spots. Zero. What about him is a threat, even if you're mainly matched up with 78 and 55? What about Zero makes him effective?
Yeah, he's just a versatile guy. He can line up anywhere. He plays in a lot of spots. So just finding where he's at, just to make sure we can identify him and what he could possibly do from any situation. It's going to be important for us to be successful and affect him in the game.
What is one takeaway you kind of had from your last cross-country road trip that you're kind of taking into this week to help prepare you again to go across a couple time zones?
Yeah, well, I think the staff does a great job of making sure, we don't really miss a beat. They make sure we're comfortable on the plane. They've got plenty of hydration for us. We get into bed early. So I think the staff does a great job, just making sure we're rested so the time change really doesn't affect us. And I think we're leaving on Thursday this week, so, we'll get more time to be adjusted to the time zone. So, yeah.
I was going to ask, what's it like when there's a hole there and Noah finishes it like he did on the goal line, just as a lineman in terms of seeing him?
Oh yeah, I mean it makes our job easy. It's exciting to see him get to the second level. Just demolish somebody like that at the goal line. It's exciting to see that.
What's it like in the film room when you guys are rewatching that play? Is it?
Oh yeah, we replayed it like 30 times. Recorded it on the phone and everything.
What are the traits that you see in 55 and 78, just in terms of what makes them?
I think they do a really good job of understanding leverage, not necessarily, overpowering a lot of guys, just, kind of just moving out the way sometimes, just letting guys take themselves out. I think they do a good job of understanding body movements and, they'll move out the way, they'll push and pull a lot of that stuff. So I think they do a really good job of understanding leverage and the balance that an O-lineman is having or doesn't have. So I think, yeah, they do a really good job of that.
Because you talked about the chemistry that's now built where you don't have to necessarily speak when 110,000 people are going to be making noise and y'all are out there.
Yeah.
How much is the silent count work, which just haven't had to do a lot in games so far?
Yeah, that was something that we worked on today. We had some crowd noise and we were working on the silent snap. But, we'll see how it goes. We thought Utah was going to be super loud last year as well. So, maybe we can just go out there and quiet the crowd early. That's the plan.
Nashad Strother, Oregon offensive lineman. And the offensive line has seriously, we've all seen, just been so... I think they're a great example of the steady improvement and the chemistry and all those things that you talk about with the cliches, but also just the talent level that's on that offensive line. And I think that Nashad Strother's onto something there with quiet the crowd early, get out to a fast start. Anytime you're on the road, I say fast start's a key. I think especially as the number one team in the country, back to my earlier theme, you're going to get everybody's best shot. If you quiet that crowd early, yeah. Because if an upset could potentially be brewing, you don't want that in the fourth quarter. That's when the crowd gets into it. Just do your job early. I think the offensive line, though, in all seriousness, I think the offensive line has done a great job of doing that. Now, moving to the defensive secondary. Brandon Johnson has been a really valuable addition to this team. And I think that Oregon's secondary is a great example of development, but also how you can supplement a roster with the transfer portal. Think about Tysheem Johnson and Nico Reed, for example. Transferred in and then also developed for a couple years here on the Oregon roster. Similarly, Brandon Johnson transferring in, making an instant impact. Kobe Savage transferring in, making an instant impact. If you look at the guys that are playing in Oregon secondary, it's just senior, 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 senior. Jabbar Muhammad transferring in, making an instant impact. Whoever's playing opposite of him, either Nico Reed or Dante Manning, making an impact. Dante Manning, been on the roster, developed. The secondary is such a great snapshot of how you can succeed with the transfer portal and player development in modern college football. Brandon Johnson, I think, an example of that. He talked with the media this week.
Tight end that makes him unique and maybe one of the better tight ends in the country.
Yeah, good size, good catch radius, can run. He's really a total package for a tight end.
What's the strategy, I guess, for covering a guy so much bigger than what you are or other safeties are on this team?
Just do what we always do. Just use our technique.
How do you think speed will help you in some of these matchups this week?
Speed is always a good asset to have in any matchup, so it's always an advantage.
What can you say about Justice Lowe as a teammate and just him coming on in the last couple of weeks like he has?
Yeah, always knew he was a good player, even better teammate off the field.
Getting to know him, what stands out to him about him as a person?
Bright personality, always smiling, always laughing. Good to be around.
The wide receivers have just kind of praised all season just how physical Oregon practices are and how much, when teams go out and face them, their defense really hasn't seen that much speed. How do you feel like your position group and the wide receivers have challenged each other all year to make practices harder than some of the games?
Yeah, we just work hard. Good competition in practice every day, so that way whenever we get to Saturday, it's a little bit easier.
What do you see in their running back duo? What makes them kind of a unique challenge compared to some of the teams you play so far?
Just both good backs. A nice 1-2 punch back there. Yeah.
Anybody you compare them to, particularly Mullings? I mean, converted linebackers, 230 pounds. Anybody you compare him to by way of either this season or in the past that you've played?
No comparison. I'll say he's his own player, and excited to go against him on Saturday.
How do you prepare, or how have you prepared for two quarterbacks? And they're kind of totally different guys, too.
Just film study. Seeing how we can break down each opponent, each quarterback.
How are they different?
You got, the guy who can run really good. He's a good player. And then the guy who can throw it a little bit better. But they're both good players.
You have to prep, though, for those two quarterbacks, what Brandon Johnson was talking about there. The way that Michigan's offense has been, I think they're still trying to find their identity. They want to be able to run the ball, but they haven't been able to run the ball and set up the pass as well as I think they would like. And listening to Shromore in his press conference, head coach for Michigan this week, I think that's still the case. They're trying to find consistency in that run game. Have it a little bit with a running quarterback who can run and he's mobile, but on the flip side, you want to be able to set up the pass, have that back and forth between those two facets of a dynamic offense. Wolverines haven't found that yet, but you still have to prepare for both of those different quarterbacks as the Ducks have been doing. Now to the running back room. Noah Whittington, Oregon running back. Okay, let's back up. This is a guy that gets hurt last year. Spends his entire offseason rehabbing, working to get back to full strength. By all accounts, and he's talked about this, was ahead of schedule. Now, steps on the field, showed some explosiveness, ran somebody over. Highlight reel material. And to quote Mike Jorgensen, oh! So great. Jerry and Jorgie's call was outstanding. Noah Whittington talked to the media, though, about a number of different things. It was fun to catch up with him this week.
What did you see and what did it feel like?
I saw a gigantic hole that our offensive line and tight end created, and I just hit it full speed.
Tez was saying that he kind of expected you'd spin out and avoid the player. Why was it important for you to do what you did there and finish it that way?
Just make a statement, Feel like that's a play he'll remember for the rest of his life.
We kind of saw you on the sideline after. You looked like you were really fired up. What's kind of the, adrenaline? What's going through your body after a moment like that, a play like that?
Excitement. I was excited, but I was more so like mentally trying to calm myself down because the game wasn't over. It was more plays to be made.
I feel like you made a statement maybe a little bit on that first one too, because everybody looks at the touchdown truck, but you had one of the early runs as well.
Yeah.
What is it like to go from being a guy who hits the edge with the speed that you do to now having the physicality be something that's being talked about like that?
Hard work off season, putting on weight and just playing physical. I feel like that's how we practice, so it's kind of like translating to the game.
Play went pretty viral. Who did you hear from afterwards about it?
Ironically, my phone broke like 2 days. So Friday, I had to get a whole new phone number. So really just my mom, my dad, my sisters, my brothers, because I got a new phone number, so people really couldn't really get in touch with me.
Another guy who had a big day on Saturday, Justice, getting to know him these last couple of years. I mean, what can you say about him as a teammate and just as a guy to be around?
Yeah, he's a great guy to be around, off the field. He got a great personality. If anybody didn't know, but he's a heck of a video gamer. He got real skills on the sticks, for sure.
What do you see from this Michigan defense? They're awfully good against the run. maybe the last week or two notwithstanding, but they've been pretty effective. What is it about them that makes them good at stopping the run?
I think they play very physical up front. Like they interior D linemen they some guys for real. But I feel like we got guys on the O-line, so it should be a great matchup.
Would you compare them to anybody from an opposing defense you guys have played even last season to anybody, or is it mainly like the guys in practice?
Mainly just the guys at practice. I'm being honest.
I know you were pretty high on who Dink could be when we talked to you in the fall. Obviously, we saw him for the first time on Saturday. Is that kind of explosiveness what you'd seen before, and what kind of pride did you have watching him play like that?
I was just excited that he got to do it on Saturday because he always do it throughout the week, you know. So it's just to see it translate over and for him to go in with so much confidence for his first ever collegiate game, it just was like he deserves it.
From a team aspect, are you kind of seeing a lot of translation, like what you guys seen all year in practice, now finally translating more to the games?
Yeah. People finding their confidence, you know, mid-season, you know, we're winning. So I feel like people kind of expect to go out there and do their job and do it well because that's what's expected of them.
Someone who played with Bucky for 2 years, we saw that Ducks First Them video, and coaches, when Dink made his plays, called him like a mini Bucky. Do you see that comparison?
Yes. Like, I've been telling him that. Like, even before everybody was telling him that, I was like, bro, you run exactly like Bucky. Like, and he does. Like the whole making people miss, kind of slipping in and out of tackles, like, that's his game. That's his game.
Have you seen Bucky's performances in the NFL?
Yeah. He doing the same thing, as expected, you know?
What is it like on Sunday? There's a lot of Ducks, a lot of guys that you've played with that are performing well, and Bo and Bucky and Troy and several other guys. What's that like for you, especially when you're in a situation where obviously you're aspiring to get that yourself soon?
Just motivation, you know. I feel like they inspire me to keep going, you know, and they show us that it's possible, and yeah.
What is motivating this team right now? I know we've asked you what the number 1 ranking means, and everyone just says, like, we don't really care about that. So what is your motivation at this point in the season?
Trying to play a complete football game, you know, and be the best versions of ourselves. You know, I feel like we go out there every Saturday and we're not really playing the opponent, we're playing ourselves, you know. So I feel like trying to beat Oregon is what actually motivates us.
That's the whole theme of Ducks versus them, right? It's Oregon versus Oregon, Ducks versus Ducks, iron sharpens iron. We've heard this a lot. We can go on and on. But that's what these two-spot practices that Coach Lanning runs has created. You get a lot of those sorts of matchups where the Ducks know if they play their game and they play well, limit mistakes, do what they need to do, that's why the Ducks are the number 1 team in the country. And they're going to stay there if they can keep that up. Quick timeout. When we come back, talking a little defense with Tatum Tuioti and Jeffrey Bassa. Alex is waving the challenge flag. That's nerve-wracking. Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear autumn leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Take on fall in the powerful Toyota Tundra or tackle trails in a Tacoma. Head to Toyota.com for more info. Toyota, let's go places.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember. Back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this way?
Alex didn't throw a challenge flag. That's good. That's good. Welcome you back to Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We're all in the Country Financial Studio. Oregon Football Coaches Show tonight, 7 o'clock across the Oregon Sports Network, getting ready for that 12:30 kickoff. Ducks heading to Ann Arbor, Michigan. We'll have a 10:30 pregame show across the Oregon Sports Network. Two big-time Duck defenders this year, and Tatum Tuioti has really taken that big sophomore jump, and Jeffrey Bassa, the veteran leader in the middle for Oregon's linebacking core and really entire defense. Those two guys both thought stopping the run, big key. Always a key for Oregon, but I think especially against a Michigan offense that prides itself on running the ball, got to find a way to slow them down in that regard. Tatum Tuioti, the Oregon sophomore, with the media here.
Derrick Harmon talked about she dislikes Michigan. He kind of told you guys about them at all.
Say that one more time.
Derrick Harmon kind of talked about how he dislikes Michigan. Obviously, being from Michigan State. Has he told you about that at all?
I mean, him being from Michigan State, obviously, going to have some kind of feeling towards Michigan, but I think that he's ready to go. Him specifically, he's ready to go.
What has Derrick done to make the defense better?
Oh man, he's just a monster. Like he in his own way, like he's been doing his own thing in his own way. Like he plays within the scheme and he just creates havoc. Very to himself, but when it comes to game day, he communicate. He gets everyone lined up, make sure everyone on the same page, and he just go and does his own thing.
He seems like a very serious guy. Is he serious around you guys as well?
Oh, he got humor, man. The man, like, he loves to, like, around his people, he loves to hang out, chill, and just make jokes.
What do you see from their run game, too?
Run game, I mean, they love running the ball. That's one thing we figured out. And I think this week is a big week of trying to stop the run. That's the main thing. Once we stop the run, then I think we'll have success.
What makes their running backs unique compared to other guys you faced?
They're good size running. They're big running backs. They run downhill. They're strong running backs, and we respect that. So we're gonna have to do our job tackling, making sure that we wrap up and run our feet through contact.
What about quarterback run game with the way they incorporate both quarterbacks?
Yeah, that's unique. Something I don't think I've won against yet, but we know when they got their quarterback runs, and we're going to be able to be in a good call for it, and just have some common sense knowing who's in and trying to stop that run.
Big house, obviously, historic venue, college football. What's the anticipation like just going to play at Michigan?
Yeah, we're expecting the atmosphere to be, bumping. We know that atmosphere is one of a kind. So we just like getting ready for it, playing loud crowd music. So we just preparing for everything.
You see from 16 as a passer, we talk about their run game at quarterback with 10, but about 16 as a passer specifically when he's back there.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback. I think he just commands that offense and does what he does. I think that us as a defense, we have some good calls going in, and we'll be able to, as long as everyone do their job, we'll be successful.
Michigan's kind of built itself on physicality and trench play. Going against a team like that on a national stage, is that something that kind of, I don't want to say motivates you, but is that an opportunity to kind of prove your own toughness and physicality?
Yeah, I think especially up front, we know that they have a good O-line, and they always have good O-line and players up front. So us in practice, we knowing that we're going to have to strike, we're going to have to defeat the run. And it's a big platform, a big opportunity for us to showcase what we got.
At this point, the Ducks will be on national television for 7 straight weeks. First time that's ever happened for the University of Oregon football team. That's a big deal. on one of the, I should say on national television, on one of the major networks, right? One of the major 4, I guess we call it the big 4 TV networks, right? Yeah. So the point is that it is a tremendous opportunity, and you earn that, right? Getting to the number 1 ranking, you're going to get those great TV slots. Michigan, talk about a potential marquee win. Got to be ready if you're the Ducks. Jeffrey Bassa, veteran, knows all about that. He met with the media today after practice. Jeff Bassa, one of the vets for Oregon, talking about keys against Michigan.
Big stage in the big house. Just what's the anticipation like going to play Michigan?
Yeah, hopes are up right now. Everything's really exciting. A lot of the guys, weren't offered from Michigan or, haven't been over there, in the state of Michigan. DJ, we got some teammates from Michigan from that area, like DJ and Dante. But, a lot of guys are excited. A lot of guys are excited for this trip and excited for this matchup as well. So,
it's the excitement for you when you're playing a rushing offense that's just built the way they are, particularly with a 230-pound running back, converted linebacker. What's the anticipation for a linebacker to play a running team like that?
Yeah, it's always great. Linebacker running back matchup, especially with the team that likes to run the ball. It's going to be, a lot of based on a lot of run fits, and going to be seeing the running back in the hole one-on-one, or it's going to be a lot of in the box type of that type of game, right? So that's always exciting. Especially me playing linebacker, and just my aspect and how I see the game. Always like playing running teams. So
what stands out to you about Mullings in particular? Because you just don't see a lot of running backs at that size these days, at least not from some of the West Coast schools.
Yeah, really explosive out the backfield. Right when he catches the ball, he's headed north and south. So really explosive, and I think their O-line does a good job, creating those holes opening up for him. So got a lot of respect for him.
Jeff, when the game's played in the box, what are the kind of the keys for a defense that you have to do just on a consistent basis to be successful?
Yeah, you got to have everybody in the right fit. I think just going down to the communication in the back end. Obviously, there's going to be some guys from the back end that are responsible for the A or B or C gap, right? So just having everybody dialed in on the right fit, and then D-line peeking their gap and staying in their gap, right? You don't want to have 2 guys peeking in one gap and then it creases. So just being disciplined eyes, having disciplined eyes and disciplined fits.
Derrick Harmon going back to a familiar area against a team he's already said he doesn't really like that much. What are you expecting from him on Saturday?
Yeah, him to unleash havoc. I know that him come from Michigan State. Their rivalry that they got going on up there. I know he's excited for this game, and I know he's been prepping his tail off all week. I see it in practice. There's a different look in his eyes from this week. So
how important of an addition has he been to your defense?
Humongous tradition. Just the way that he creates havoc in the backfield, stopping the run for us, creating turnovers for us. And then also getting after the quarterback as well. A good guy on and off the field, but then like you said, on the field, he's just creating havoc up there up front for us. So
on that same note, Jamari Caldwell's someone who the stats don't really show the impact that he has in the game. What have you seen from him so far this season?
Yeah, he's just been keeping his head down and continue to work. He's never a guy that comes in and complains about his job. He always wants to get better. And obviously, like you said, he doesn't show up in the stat sheet a lot of the times, but he's the reason why we're such a dominant run defense, right? And a lot of the D-line, he's also seen as a leader in that room as well. So just the way that he approaches the game, just like you said, doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but he's a guy who's going to keep his head down and always do his job for us.
Back to Derrick for a second. He has the play where he plays through the whistle. It kind of cost the defense. He called it a stupid play. How did he, communicate did he have accountability for himself on the sideline? What was the message and conversation there after that?
Yeah, he was subbed out the play after, I'm pretty sure, and we know that it was a bad penalty on his part, but he's grown and he knows that it was a dumb decision on his end. But now that was really it. Kind of keeping his head fresh and kind of just letting him know. I spoke to him right after the play. I was like, just keep your cool, keep your calm. You know what I mean? Like you had a good play, just a little dumb penalty at the end. There's always going to be little things like that happen during this physical game that we play. So,
how have you gone about attacking, getting better at pass coverage? Because you clearly have. So how have you gone about it? How have you gotten better at pass coverage?
Yeah, just the training that I did in the off season, and then going up against our tight ends every day and our receivers every day. Really, I think guys like Kenyon, guys like T. Ferg and P. Herb, and then as well as we all know, the receiver core, that the best in the nation. Where I really feel like we are the best in the nation at the receiver core and tight end core. Just going up against those guys every day in practice, and then as well as my training in the off season. That's something that I really wanted to focus on going into this season, being matched up with great guys in the Big Ten as well.
How are they able to still get Loveland open when everyone knows he's so far and away the number one target and everybody could just key on him? Yeah, they still get him the ball. So how have they been able to do that?
Right. Yeah, he's a savvy player, and I think their offense coordinator and the offense does a great job getting him the ball. Whether that's one-on-ones or just in the middle of the field, they're always going to find ways to get him open. So that's some person that we need to know where he's at for sure.
Jeffrey Bassa, always articulate and a great leader for this Oregon defense. He and the Ducks kicking it off at Michigan, 12:30, televised on CBS. When we come back, more Oregon football, talking offense, and then I want to revisit the Hall of Fame ceremony for Oregon Athletics a bit this week, too. More coming on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now, so good to see you real.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack with you in the Country Financial Studio. Alex has still not thrown a challenge or a penalty flag. But earlier today, a real great joke made by Alex when it comes to the flags. I'm just hoping that we have an opportunity to throw the flags on the coach's show. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Poncho Laulu, the Oregon center, who has progressed, gotten better and better as the season has gone on. And also Jordan James, Oregon running back, met with the media today. Let's start first with the man in the trenches, Poncho Laulu, talking about this matchup with Michigan coming up at 12:30 on Saturday.
See from 55 and 78 that makes them as good as they are.
Yeah, man, they're two interior Michigan, man. They're stout, one of the best that we're going to be going against technique and, playing wise. We can tell just from watching film how much they put pressure on the QB and stuff, and it's up to us, the O-line, mainly the three interior, me, Marcus, and Nashad to, stout and put on a game with them and just do and play our ball.
How important is it for you to kind of keep focus with the crowd noise, with a defensive line who's pretty quick off the ball, just in terms of getting that snap back and making sure all that stuff is in line, I guess?
Oh, yeah, it's important because obviously the play don't start without the ball, so I'm the first one that's touching the ball and getting it to Dylan. So it's really important, especially with the crowd noise. Obviously, it's gonna be my first time going to Michigan. I know it's for a lot of guys too, with this crowd noise being 100,000 people, which I've never played in front of before. But we've been practicing and instilling some stuff to cooperate and to put into the game. And when the time comes, we're gonna execute what we got to do.
Well, you practice with silent count a lot, but I don't know how much in games you've really had to do it, other than maybe early at Oregon State, perhaps. But how much have you had to in the road games rely on a silent count so far?
So far, we didn't have to rely on the silent count that much because everywhere we went to, obviously we did what we were supposed to do and we did our job and we kind of like silent the crowd right there. But just looking at Michigan and seeing like film, watching other teams like offensive wise and center and QB exchange, like you can see them doing silent cadence. But I know if we do our job, we're going to be able to silent that and just play our regular ball game.
I guess how important it is just to get to a fast start, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
kind of quiet them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's really important. Like we talk about it, like if we can go over there, start fast, both sides of the ball, whether whoever starts, offense or defense. If we go over there and start fast and just tempo them and do what we're supposed to do, then we're gonna be good.
What do you see from Zero off the edge of just what makes him a dynamic player for them on defense and how you have to go about identifying him this week?
Zero, you can see like tackle. They talk to me a lot. Like, that dude is pretty fast. He's pretty quick, and how he's versatile and what he does. So he's another dude that you got to keep an eye, look out to.
In terms of their run defense as a whole, we talk about their interior guys or Zero off the edge, but it's not just about pass rush.
Oh yeah.
What's their front seven able to do collectively to stop the run, and you guys like to establish it as much as you do?
You can see like their two interior, like I said, they're very stout, especially 7'8", with him being a big dude in the middle. He kind of takes on like 2 blocks and with 55 kind of like slipping through and making tackles when guys as offensive line use like poor technique. That's what they really take advantage of. Like if you don't have the right technique, they're going to take advantage and show what they do.
Nashad yesterday was kind of talking about this could be an opportunity to raise draft stock or get a little bit of attention just because of the guys you're going against. Do you think about that at all going into a game like this, or?
Yeah, man. I wasn't really thinking about it until like Nashad was talking about it. Like you said, he was talking about yesterday. We kind of talked about it's pretty big. Obviously, we're going against like 2 first rounders. We can see 2 stout defensive linemen, so we know that if we do and we play the way we're supposed to play, then it'll bump ours as well.
I love that Nashad Strother talked about that, and then that Poncho Laulu kind of followed up like, yeah, this is a bit of a prove-it game in a lot of ways because of the talent level that's on the field. And why ignore that? Tremendous opportunity that the Ducks have facing off against some guys that are looking to play on Sunday just like all the Ducks are looking to do. Trying to play on Sunday, that's that next level, right? Now, similarly, Jordan James, a guy who has, again, like Poncho, progressed. And I thought, now, everyone listen to this and see if I'm right, but I thought his answer about pass protection was actually really interesting because it's not just the running game and it's not just the offensive line that's responsible for protecting the quarterback. And to me, maybe where Jordan James and a lot of other running backs have progressed the most, it's in that pass protection. Huge part of that running back position. Jordan James meeting with the media.
You knew your role would be bigger this year, but as you get closer and closer to 1,000 yards, what is that like? What do you start to feel like when you start getting close to these plateaus that mean something to running backs in particular?
It feels good. That's just a reflection of my offensive line, like I say all the time. But it's just a reflection of the full team work, the unit work, offense that we've been putting in.
How do you feel like you've been able to kind of maintain your body and stuff with playing a little bit more in terms of snaps and touches and all that?
Just taking care of it, just coming, prehab, rehab, all that type of stuff.
It's like earlier this season have those 20-plus touches, those 3 straight games, because like Bucky didn't even get to do that.
Yeah. It's pretty hard on the body, especially the Big Ten Conference. So it's just you got to get in here and just take care of your body, cold tub, ice tub, things like that.
Hope for the last couple of weeks where it's a little bit less to pay off this week when you're playing a run defense like this.
Wait, what'd you say?
You hope that maintenance of the past couple of weeks, a little bit less touches, a little bit less workload pays off this week when you're playing.
Yeah, most definitely, especially when we're playing somebody like this. They have a good physical defense, so we're going to need to run the ball this week for sure.
It certainly starts at 55 and 78. What do you see from those guys of what makes them tough interior D tackles?
On tape, they dominate people, so they're I think those are 2 first-round picks that they have up front. It's going to be a challenge for us for sure.
Does that change anything for you where you're maybe anticipating more penetration? Is there a difference in terms of running against 2 guys or around those guys?
No, I know my offensive line will get the job done, so it doesn't matter who we line up against.
You get more reps and also more in pass pro. What was it like seeing, as much as people react to your running, Jordan, the pass pro in particular against Ransom and Ohio State, when you took that hit, like when that gets celebrated, what does that feel like?
No, it just feels good. You try to show what you can do without the ball in your hands because, that matters just as much as what you can do with the ball in your hands. So, I felt good to, it feels good to not knock guys, basically, pretty much.
Speaking of that, what did you think of Noah's run?
Yeah, it was violent. That's something, dude. I told him, I said, that's something I'm used to seeing you run, bro. Like, you know, he's violent, he's physical, you know. He doesn't have as much size as me, but he runs just as physical, even more physical than me, so.
I guess kind of, what'd you think of Dink's first play out there? And I know we've heard Noah compare him to Bucky.
Yeah.
What else can you say about what he could be?
Yeah, we've been calling him Bucky since he got here. So we feel like he runs like Bucky. But you know, we see this in practice every day. So it was not a surprise to any of us on the sideline at all.
What specifically do you see? Just I guess what is that makes him so impressive to you guys?
Just, you know, he puts in the work. You know, he comes in, he takes notes, he wants to learn. You know, as a young guy, it's important to learn. You know, he's just taking it all in as a freshman, and he's enjoying it. So he's having fun with it.
Curious for either chipping or pass pro against Zero this week. Just what do you see from Zero that makes him a unique edge guy?
Say that again?
If you're asked to either chip or pass pro against Zero
this
week, just what makes him unique as an edge guy?
He's a physical guy. That whole front, that whole defensive line is pretty physical. So, you know, we're gonna have to be more physical than them.
Pass protection, a huge key. Physicality, always hear the Ducks talking about that. But I just like that answer from Jordan James. Like, you just got to be able to hit people. And in the pass protection, seriously, in pass protection, running backs often, coming from high school, don't get asked to do that. Then you've got a linebacker running right through a gap on a blitz, and it's your job to protect your quarterback as the running back. And Jordan James, I think, has done a tremendous job at that over the course of this season. There have been a couple times where he's blocked a guy, and Jorgie will turn around and look at me like, whoa. It's part of the deal. Protecting the quarterback. One of the keys this week, protecting the quarterback. Keeping Dylan Gabriel upright, letting those deep routes develop. I think especially on the road, you hit some of those deep balls early, Ducks are going to like their outcomes this week. Oregon Football Coaches Show coming up tonight. The Ducks will travel tomorrow, going to Ann Arbor, 12:30 kickoff for Oregon at Michigan. Oh, I can't wait. Oregon Football Coaches Show tonight. Quick time out. When we come back, revisiting a bit of the Hall of Fame class. The Ducks put together an awesome Hall of Fame class, and we had some interviews up on stage. Tell you about that coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Final segment of Duck Insider here as we get ready for the Oregon Football Coaches Show tonight. We will also have a Duck Insider tomorrow, Friday, regular time, even though we're traveling. Ryan Milano's got the show for you. Brian Bush from the Michigan broadcast team. We sat down with him yesterday. Ryan's got that interview for you tomorrow, in addition to some basketball preview. Oregon men's basketball and Oregon women's basketball will meet with the media tomorrow. Some updates on the hardwood as the Ducks get ready for the season opener. Counting games start on Monday with the doubleheader at Matthew Knight Arena, but the women's basketball team will have an exhibition. Head to Matthew Knight Arena on Friday night. The Ducks in action to kick off the season, or more accurately, tip off the season. Why is kickoff one word and tip off is hyphenated? I just don't. I've never understood that. Can we just tip off as one word? Right? I just don't. You know what, Scott? Great point. It's Halloween. We're going to see a lot of these people around. Why is Superman one word and Spider-Man is hyphenated? Why? The University of Oregon Athletics Hall of Fame class. Tyler Anderson from the Duck baseball team, multiple school records. Kenyon Barner from the Oregon football team. Head to the Oregon football social media channels tomorrow for a Kenyon Barner shout-out, courtesy of Scott Phillips on Throwback Thursday. Also, Lauren Plum from the Oregon volleyball team. Alexa Peterson, multi-time All-American from the Oregon softball team. And Eugene Wong won the Jack Nicklaus Award as the best collegiate golfer when he was here playing for Casey Martin. Those 5 were all honored, and then Laura Raisler, part of the class as well. We're honoring her later on based on her schedule. So Tyler Anderson, Kenyon Barner, Lauren Plum, Alexa Peterson, Eugene Wong. We had them up on stage, and I want to make sure that we have enough time to play all of the interviews for you on the show. But one thing that I wanted to mention that Rob Mullins and I kind of blazed through yesterday. We went quick, rapid fire with the Oregon Athletic Director yesterday. To a person, every single one of them coming back to campus. And for some of them, it was one of the first or second times that they've returned to campus. And to a person, all of them mentioned the community as a huge reason why they came to Oregon in the first place. And a huge, I guess, pride point as they've returned to campus. Really cool. I don't know what Scott Phillips is doing, but, you know, he's going to get ready for the Oregon Football Coaches Show tonight. We'll see you then.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking. Now start screening.